Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Ace of Cups, which is always the most welcome card. Big emotions, big motivation, big inspiration. It is all the good things, all the fun and wild and shifting things. You might be feeling a little bit restless, I would think. Okay. So immediately, we have Leo again. I just did another reading where Leo came up. The word L-E-O. So Leo, once again. So it does. It feels like there are Leo people and people in our lives, right? We all have some Leo who's really at the front of your thinking. This is somebody that, I don't know, you've been really kind of, there's a connection. I was going to say an obsession. No, not a Taurus, right? But I feel like there's a real attraction on some level. Okay. Now, does this mean it's like physical attraction, emotional, as in romantic? Maybe not. This might be somebody in your life who's a good friend, even a family member. There's a sense of wanting to be around them often, right? To hanging out, to chit-chatting, talking about deep things and silly things and spending your hours, your, free hours, wherever you have those, being around them. And so it feels like a longing. Okay. There's a longing to, have those moments. Okay. Now we also have a horse. You can see the face right here. Okay. This is the long face. We have the eyes, we have the nose kind of down here. We have the ears. So we have a horse. Now we have two people who look like they are, immediately I thought, okay, these are like herders or they're like walking across grassland type of things. We have a donkey up here. And it, to me, immediately felt like two people who are really helping one another. Maybe this is a spouse or somebody you've been in a long-term relationship with, maybe in a partnership, or maybe it's like a family member or a friend that you work with, or you kind of, whenever something needs to be done, that's who you call up and they're going to help you. Okay. So I feel that there's a lot of love and trust in this. Whatever is going on, they're going to show up. If you have to move, they're going to be the ones that actually are there in the morning, all, caffeined and ready to do some lifting. You don't have to even question it. You just know that they're going to be. Now we have the horse. So I do feel like there is maybe literally a horse in your life somewhere. Maybe when you were young you had a horse, or maybe you have horses now. But I also feel like there is a desire to change. Something about like the fundamental makeup of how your life is going. I feel like maybe there are some financial constraints. Maybe this is kind of like, I don't know, I'm not saying this is it, but this is an example. Maybe you want to get separated, right? Maybe have a divorce, begin the process of. It's expensive. Moving out, maybe not a good option for you to go get your own apartment or your own place. You don't really know how you would afford that. You have other responsibilities. But you have this person up here who, you know, would do anything for you. And, you know, maybe they will help you figure out like, well, you can stay with me, or, you know, we can maybe think about being roommates, or, you know, something, right? And I feel like, now that's just an example. Let me just say an example. It might be something much more lighthearted, like, oh, I want to start a business and I need somebody to, you know, help me fill my orders, and they're there to help you pack them up and put the little mailing label and all of that. You know, it could be something more, what we would say is positive, right? But I think ultimately what it comes down to is this desire to do something different in your life, to change something, some aspect that really kind of sets the tone for a lot of other things in your life, and maybe having a hard time asking for help, right? Even though you know this person will be there for you, they will help you carry the burden of whatever's going on. We have that donkey, right? A pack animal that, you know, carries heavy loads. And I feel like, you know, what this is really telling me is you have to figure out how to just say what you need, to be clear, to, you know, maybe have to do some soul searching yourself to really look at what is it that I want to do going forward? And now, what help do I need realistically? And how can I kind of muster up, you know, the courage, or let go of my pride a little bit and just say, yeah, I need some help here, you know? We all do at some point in our life. It's hard. It's hard to feel like you're kind of going backwards a little bit, but ultimately that's not what it is. This is you really as a being advocating for yourself as a being to be able to evolve, right? To be able to get through the ordeals of your life, to meet them straight on instead of just languishing in a state that does not serve you, you know, just putting up with however the dynamic is that, you know, you're just not invested in anymore. And so I think that this is, you know, a wonderful thing. You know, I don't know what it is that you want to change, but intentional growth, right? Intentional self-work, intentional exploration. It's fantastic. It is one of the things that makes life worth living, that makes life beautiful. And so maybe here it is about kind of letting go of some of your doubts, letting go of that pride, being ready to, maybe start over in some ways. Okay, now we have the space over here. You can see the eyes, you can see the nose, kind of, you know, doesn't look super happy. Now below, it almost looks like an angry emoji, okay? We also have a bird right here. It looks like a fledgling or a baby bird. That's when they're in the nest and they're all like super ugly. They're like so ugly, they're cute. And very needy, very loud. I've had a series of robins nesting right outside my back door, and the babies are so funny when mommy or daddy come around with some food. They go wild because they're not in control of themselves fully, so they're just like, you know, up going like this, just all over the place. Their heads bobbing around. It's pretty funny. But you know, I feel like this is really kind of an indicator of a rebirth, a re-beginning, a relearning, right? Getting rid of some of that old conditioning, that old way that your brain has been coded by your experiences, by your choices, by, whatever the environment that you have lived in and grown up in, or what, all these things, these cumulative things that all come together to kind of help us be whatever we are, the many things that we are. And so, I feel really in this realm of feeling just down and out, and the anger, frustration. I think the big thing is the frustration. Going between this kind of feeling really let down, feeling stuck, and then getting angry and resentful about it. Going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And getting into this place where you're going to take control over the situation, over the circumstances, change them, so you can get into this other place. So there is this beginning again. You're like that little baby bird just in the nest waiting for sustenance, right? That kind of spiritual, emotional sustenance. And rebuilding yourself from the bottom up. Beginning a new era of your being, of your existence. On to the next act, right? Not a scene, an act. This is like a whole different part of you. Maybe it's the middle. Maybe it's towards the end. I don't know. I don't know. But this is the new era, right? And I feel like you are starting to have these little moments, these little pangs of excitement, of, oh, what could be, right? A little vision of the freedom that kind of lays before you. And so I feel like this is also part of what is driving you towards kind of changing these things in your life, seeing where they take you. Okay. Now we have more of these faces. Ooh, we have the face of a rabbit right here. Look at the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the ears kind of curly and strange. We have a bird up here. We have a person who is, it almost looks like blessing the rabbit. Now we also have the bull over here. Up here we have two more faces that don't look super happy. They kind of look like grays a little bit. Or are they grays? I remember reading a thing about the Men in Black, like not the movie, but the real accounts of people interacting with where the mythology of the Men in Black come from. And in the stories, I remember there was one about these people who almost seemed like robots, like humanoid robots. And they dressed so different for the time period, not like futuristic, like they just didn't understand the nuance of style, right? And they just seemed disheveled in a way. But when people described them, it just kind of seemed like almost like a gray, but almost kind of less expressive, not the big eyes and things. And so I don't know, I almost feel like it's kind of this going into a mode of just animatronic, or what do you say? Animatroniton? I don't know. The robots, right? The ones that just kind of go through the same cycle of motions. I'm thinking of like Disneyland back in the day. I don't know if they're still like that, but they used to just kind of, it was like mannequins that moved. And so I feel like, yeah, there's this kind of energy of lifelessness in the people that are around you to some degree. Kind of almost like that thing they used to, it was really popular like a year ago on the internet. It was like people saying that other people are NPCs. Is that what it's called? Non-playable characters. And so that basically this theory that kind of is derived from video gaming, that there are lots of people in the world who are just there filling space. They don't really have any backstory. They don't have any lines. When you go out to the store, 30% of the people are just kind of running through a program. If you went and actually interacted with them, it might be kind of bizarre because they just are repeating the lines of, or the monologue or whatever, but there's no depth to it. Okay. They're not fully, humans like we would consider ourselves to be humans. And so I feel like there's I don't know if that's real or not. I mean, it could be, right? But I feel like there's just an energy around you of people who are just, they're on autopilot. And I think that's really difficult for you, especially as a Taurus, and very fiery, very emotional, in a very emotional place in your life. Now, the rabbit is abundance. It's fertility. It is, just, well, if you think of rabbits, right? They have lots and lots of babies. You go from having a few rabbits in your yard to having a lot of them. I would know. I have so many rabbits around the house right now. They're beautiful. I love watching them. But it is this kind of regenerating abundance. Okay, so that's that energy. Now we have this person over here that looks like their hand is raised over the rabbit. So I do feel like this is kind of a blessing for you. Okay, so I wonder if there will be kind of maybe an ease in financial constraints, maybe some more money coming in. It might make you or give you the ability to maybe do some of the moves that you want to do. Whatever that is, if it's like changing jobs or retiring or, maybe moving to a new town or whatever, right? It might actually make it this much easier for you to decide, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So look for these blessings, look for the opportunities to be making these resources, having that money come in. Now we also had the bowl over here, so I absolutely feel like you moving into a place of deep power. Okay, activated, feeling confident, shaking off the kind of turmoil of what has been, and remembering yourself, Taurus, remembering who you are and what you want and what you're going to do and what you'll do to get that. Okay? Nobody is going to slow you down, especially yourself. Now, right above that, we have, it looked like a volcano, but what's coming out of it is hearts. So I do feel like love leads you. All of these kind of emanations of courage and desire and really, going out there and trying to get it, to obtain it. It's all anchored to this love, to this ability to live for love, to live as a being of love. And as I was saying that, I saw over here we have, it looks like J-O. It kind of looks like a U, but I'm going to go J-O-Y, joy. Okay? Moments of joy on their way. Look out for them because they will show up. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to take a look over here. Okay, so I feel like we have a circle here. It feels like a meeting of the family. So I feel like there's a situation coming up where everybody's getting together. And maybe this is actually a meeting. Maybe there's something going on within the family, chosen family, family of origin, friends group, whatever it is. Something happening where you all need to get on the same page about something. Is this a fun thing? Is this something that is difficult? You know, I constantly, because I myself am in the midst of, you know, kind of taking care of my chosen mother, my acquired mom, who's been my mom for like 20 years, right? She's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's recently. And so, you know, although I'm not really technically family, I've been around for a long time, so I'm pretty much family. I've been helping in the efforts of figuring out like what's going on and what do we need to do. And, you know, and that's a lot of conversations. So immediately, these are the kinds of things that I think about. You know, maybe your parents are getting older. Maybe you yourself are getting older. Maybe, you know, you're thinking about like, how can we kind of delegate responsibilities? Who can take care of what? What should we do? What is, you know, these kinds of things. Now, it could be something else where it's like, okay, there's a wedding coming up. So we all got to get together. We all have our things that we're in charge of. And, you know, let's do this things. It's going to be wonderful, right? I don't know exactly why you're getting together, but I feel like it is important. And yeah, there is a belovedness in your relationship with these people. I feel like it, and here we have an anchor. It's not about holding you down, but it's about keeping you steady. And I think that these kinds of relationships, these very deep and kind of aged, you know, entanglements that you have, these are the things that kind of ground you, right? You might go weeks and even months without seeing your people, and, you know, the world seems so much more bleak and loveless, and nobody has any loyalty or openness or whatever. But then you go around your family and maybe, yeah, you have some problems and conflicts, and, you know, maybe it's kind of annoying after a little while and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is a lot. But these are your people. They know you and you care about them and you know them, right? And this brings you back down to earth. This gets you out of those kind of cynical places that you might find yourself sometimes. Now, we also have a rooster up here. So it does feel like maybe there is something, I think of this as the alarm. This is kind of the message, you know, the universe telling you, hey, wake up. There's something to tell you. So yeah, definitely keep your mind open, your eyes open, waiting for that message to come through. Now, we also have a dove that is perched. So I do feel like there is a sense in wanting for peace in your life, to be at ease in some ways. And I feel like that is something that it's just right there. You know, it's coming. It's part of this process, and you will get there. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do our divine doors right over here. And I'm just going to go ahead and flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. Okay. And we're going to see what this has to say. It says destiny. One door closes, another opens for you. Let the plans of destiny unravel true. Let the plans of destiny unravel true. All right, there it is. Yes, all these things, these directions that you want to go in, trust it. Trust destiny, because it will show up for you. If it brings us what we want or not, it might be a different story. But I do feel like this is a wonderful beginning to the beginning, right? To a new beginning. And that's never easy, especially if we're pretty established in the life that we're leading right now. And then, you know, you begin to think, okay, well, I want to maybe change some things. I want to try some different stuff. I want things to feel differently. I'm ready. And that's, you know, it's one thing to think these things, to desire these things, to even plan for them, right? But then taking that first step, that's when we have to kind of relinquish the control over to the universe. Okay, Taurus, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you, because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, yes, do. Please. I read them. I love them. I love you. If this is your first time watching, definitely, you know, shout it out. And yeah, I think that's it. We're just getting ready for the 4th of July over here. We're not necessarily big on the 4th of July, but I'm in the upper Midwest. So we partake in a lot of the festivities, if we are, you know, super into them or not. But I do love the parades. I love the fireworks. And, you know, I wish, you know, they weren't so damaging to birds and you know, affected other people greatly, which, you know, they do and they can. I don't know, though. I'm a sentimental fool. You know, it reminds me of a warm summer night when I was like 8 years old, swimming all day, sitting out on the lawn, you know, eating a hot dog or watermelon or whatever, and watching the fireworks. You know, I don't know, just something about those little moments in life that you just, you know, they never stop giving. There's something just so lovely about that. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it here. I'm going to bed now. I'm off. Okay. Taurus, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days. Good night.